welcome back to the 200cc playthrough. Now I'm going on to the Leaf Cup. Now here's a stage I really don't play that often, because these kind of motocross looking tracks really don't appeal to me that much, except for the Excitebike one in the DLC, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Now I'm using one of the Mercedes downloadable cars. I think these were free, as like patched in at one point, but they feel so out of place. It's kind of funny actually. They feel double out of place in a motocross type level, because I don't think any Mercedes owners would appreciate you driving their shiny silver Mercedes in this kind of terrain. Be like, fuck you mate, go get your Land Rover or something like that, leave my car alone. Oh god. Not doing too well so far. Came in a bit too quick. I love how you missed that second ramp entirely there on 200, just because of how fast you're going. It completely skips that entire jump. And this will too, like that one there. So I've noticed them signs that are going across, they're in what I know as the NES font, because a lot of NES games have their text written in it. I don't know what it's actually called, but it looks really cool regardless. And I've got a hell of a recovery if I want to not embarrass myself here. Because some of these courses clearly weren't built with 200cc in mind. And that does suggest that it was a thing that was conceived much later in development, like after the game was out. But you get quite a few sections like the turns in this course where you can just come completely off the road and crash into shit, and there's not really much you can do about it. And yes, I am making excuses at this point. I just suck, okay, except that I suck. It's a nice level. No, it's not the greatest in terms of track design. I really like this course because I just love the ice graphics. Ice levels in games, they can go two ways. They can either be really pretty to look at, like this is, or they can just be dull. And it's a case of, I think, balancing the whites and the blues. Because in this, it's got a kind of mostly blue tone to it. I think if certain levels take a mostly white approach, that can be a bit less interesting. Like saying that, Cool Edge from Sonic Unleashed, that takes more of a white one, and I think that looks cool, but in a slightly different way. I'm not sure how to describe it really, but I guess it's because the lighting from the Hedgehog engine just really enhances the whites, and I guess because it's got inside sections as well that do have little tones of blue and I think a bit of grey. I know the inside nighttime version of Cool Edge looks really good as well, and that's accompanied by some sweet, smooth jazz music that's just really context appropriate. Doesn't justify how much I dislike the Werehog gameplay though. And yes, everything does come back to Sonic with me. I think that's something we've established a while back now. Because whether I like it or not, I'm tied to the little spiny fucker for life. Oh, wrong way. Did me drift wrong. I drove straight into that one, but there wasn't much I could do to get around it. Fourth could be worse, could be better. I'll settle for that. This is called Melody Motorway, but you can see there that it still has the music park signs from the US version. Alright guys, if you're going to change the name, you kind of need to change the assets in the track itself. Or alternatively, you could just not change the name because there's really no reason to, but It's one of these 3DS courses that I think the 3DS version in general, Mario Kart 7, it did suffer a bit from the courses. Not sure how best to describe them, but they really didn't feel quite as smooth flowing as some other Mario Kart courses do. And it's, I guess, little things from having these jumping around in the middle, having the piranha plants grabbing at you, things like that. They don't really serve as reasonable obstacles. I don't think they kind of get in the way more than anything. But hey, that's probably just because I suck. This piano sounds much nicer than it did in the 3DS version. Because it sounds like an actual piano and not random MIDI noises. And I can't remember how these xylophones sounded, so I can't really comment on that. I'm just seeing all these brass instruments around and it's making me think of Sound Euphonium now. I actually did really enjoy that, even though it did take quite a while to get into the swing of things. Because there were a lot of the early episodes that were just sort of characters faffing around, not doing much. Once it got into it, I really started to like the different characters and kind of started to care for the goal a bit more. To the point where it was probably my favourite from that series next to Plastic Memories. But I'm getting distracted by weeb stuff now, so let's get back to the race. This is one of the courses that very clearly wasn't designed with 200 in mind. And damn, I'm getting crushed by a lot of shit this race, and that is mainly my carelessness. I'm not going to try and shift blame on that one. But some of these turns really don't flow that smoothly on 200cc. I'm still below the top 3. Not looking too good. Yoshi Valley. Yes, this is a track. This is a track that appears in the video game Mario Kart. And yeah, I don't really like it that much. I much prefer it here to Mario Kart 64 though. Because Mario Kart 64 had this gimmick where, because of how much of a clusterfuck the course is, you couldn't see who was first, who was second and all that. So you had no idea who was winning, how well you were doing, and I just don't think that makes for a fun track. So at that point it kind of feels trivial as to why you're racing. And it just doesn't feel like a race anymore, it just feels like you're driving just cause. Nope. That could have been extremely dangerous. Bye, Donkey Kong. Hi, Wall. That turn works in 150, it doesn't work in 200. I thought I was going to blow myself up there, but it just got away. Oh, down I go. I don't know whether that would have came out on the mic or not, but I just flinched there quite loudly. But I think it's fair to write off my achievements in this cup as a failure. So I'm going to just go with the flow at this point, see where I come out in pure curiosity. That's better. That went a bit more smoothly. I almost drove into a Goomba though. Is it? Eat sludge, motherfuckers. Now, let's see. I thought he was going to drive into that egg there, because I know sometimes the AI goes like full idiot when you use the splodge. Or the blooper spunk, or whatever you want to call it. God damn it, I thought I would have got someone there, but nah. This cup was a failure on my part. There we are, proof that I can't do Mario Kart. Ah well, I'll see you next part, folks.